So hi, Stefan and team. This is my little video that I'm creating for you guys to see what we think is the best program. Here a short overview of the days coming ahead with the different options for dinner on Thursday, the program on Friday and Saturday. We've had a great site inspection, saw a lot of different things that I'll jump into details now. Broughton is the restaurant we suggest for dinner. It's about a 700-meter distance from the hotel, so it is walkable. We think it's a great venue for a welcome dinner, not so much for a gala dinner, what we had thought of initially. Weather dependent, we might need to add a coach. It's a very impressive looking restaurant, great kitchen. It's in the budget currently, so that does work. The second option we think for the first night could be the Grandi Mud Hall. It's a food court, a food hall, if you will, in the harbor of Reykjavik. The buyout is quite expensive. They ask about, I think, 30,000 euros for us to buy them out. Possibility on Friday, but then it would not be on an exclusive use. As you can see on the images, it's quite a nice looking place with a fabulous bar, 9 different food stations, all different kinds of food if you want to go for something a bit more modern rather than traditional, if you will. The best option by far is just across the street from the hotel. It's called the Shellfish Market. It is an L-shaped restaurant, so it goes into a corner, has an open fish market in the restaurant, hence the name. As I said, just around the corner of the restaurant. However, buyout rate also quite expensive for the Thursday night. So at this moment, based on the current budget, we unfortunately cannot afford it. But nevertheless, it's literally across the street, so it would be a fabulous option. The last one for the Thursday night, what we think would work well is Jamie's Italian. It's a restaurant within about a 10-minute stroll, 800 meters from the hotel, split into 2 parts. So I'm now walking with the camera to the other part, so you have to bear that in mind. Again, buyout rate for the entire group that is quite expensive. So on the second day, we have the glacier tour planned, which we intend to do with the super jeeps. These are bigger versions, bigger sizes that we've tried to get to allow for less vehicles and to make it somewhat cheaper. The first stop will be at Thingvellir. It's a national park, basically the place where the 2 tectonic plates meet. 20-minute stop there. There are restrooms. There's a visitor center where you're seeing these recordings. There's a beautiful view overlooking the canyon where you see the tectonic plates. The second stop is going to the Geyser, which is a geothermal park. Again, restrooms, a shop there. We intend to have a 45-minute stop. I was lucky to catch the geyser blow. There it goes. So that's quite nice. It does that every 5 to 6 minutes. And from there, we drive for about 60 minutes from the geyser to the glacier. And at the glacier, we have obviously a longer stop where we have lunch. We split the group up in 2 parts. One group goes on the snowmobile tour, and the other group does the lunch. So the visit there is about 2.5 hours. And what we thought would be great if we bring those guys in there who do the Viking clap, which we all remember from the World Cup, to do it with us at the glacier, all 120 of us. I thought that would be a very cool thing to do. The snowmobile tour is about 6 guides, 5 to 6 guides on a group of 60. You fly over the glacier. What I did with my little tour when I jumped on there was we drove to the end of the glacier and we went under the glacier, which was super impressive to see. So I really recommend to also have that included into the tour. So yeah, you just literally under the ice. So we just came back from the snowmobile tour, did a quick one with a local guide, and completely geared up, helmet, gloves, the whole thing, and it's really nice. It's a bit dark out today, a lot of clouds, but still it is a pretty cool experience because you're all over the mountains. So definitely recommend for everybody to do that. And then that vehicle for people that say I really don't want to do it. It's also a possibility. So, and from there we do a final stop, which is at a waterfall. This is on the way back already to Reykjavik, where we stop for about 30 minutes. There are some restrooms available for us there, so that's quite good. Moving on towards the evening, we kept in the Viking restaurant. We noted the wish to do a Game of Thrones event rather than a Viking event. But this is kind of like a standard restaurant, although it is really nice, beautifully decorated. But if you do a Game of Thrones event, you kind of have to tailor make it, which makes it much more expensive. Flexibility with entertainment is what we were looking for and we got. I think it's comparable to what we did in Cape Town in that restaurant, where we basically took over part of the restaurant and did a evening there. Transfer needed. It's about a 15-minute drive or 15K from the city center. The brewery is a great alternative. We visited it. It's in the harbor actually of Reykjavik. Very local, very fun. Nice private room as you can see, where we can fit with the group quite nicely. So if you're looking to do that, that's a good thing. It's cheaper than the Viking. It saves you about 6,000 euros, but it's ex-entertainment. So keep that in mind. Obviously, beer pairing, food quality was really good. Luce is enjoying, as you can see. Then moving on to the tours. One of the optional tours, first one, Blue Lagoon, a must to have in the program as an optional. We found it we just came off the plane and went there straight away. We found it very touristy. As you can see the lines, it's very mass, but this is the site you're looking for. The second tour activity would be the Arctic trucks. Very impressive, very high end, very cool to do. And we think this will be a hit, so we have to cap it at a certain amount, so not everybody goes on the Arctic truck tour, as it is quite expensive. There are two options. One goes to riverbedding, is a really nice tour, and the other one visits the cave and does a bit more challenging drive. I made some videos of them driving through the river bedding. As you can see, it's a very impressive sight. Keep in mind, everybody drives himself, of course, so it's really nice. And this is the other option where we visit the lava cave. So this is basically a lava field that came when the volcano erupted, and there are lava tunnels that you can visit. As you can see, I'm walking in with the guide through the tunnel right now. It's, I think, about 150-meter down. Very, very impressive and very cool. Also in terms of learning about tectonic plates and volcanoes and eruptions, it's quite impressive. And obviously, the fun part is the driving. The guide is very custom. This is a very modern car. This actually had an app where he inflated and deflated the tires every time he went on and off road. Very high tech. They actually are quite known for that. The company is called Arctic Trucks. Moving on to the Reykjavik city tour, a must as an optional for people that are not into any activity or active stuff, if you will. Nice city tour where we visit all of the landmarks, but also include a visit to the famous hot dog stand where Bill Clinton got a hot dog, and the Settlement Museum. The fourth tour option is whale watching. Keep in mind, this is not on a private vessel. As you can see, this is a big ship with about 150 guests. Set times, lunch would be in the harbor. The fifth tour would be the buggy tour, which is a 20-minute drive outside of Reykjavik to the buggy station, which is where I'm recording now. It's basically a garage, very well organized, well equipped, very safe. And then you go from there and you drive into a mountain range. I opted to go for a 2-hour buggy tour, but we could bring this back to 1 hour to save some cost. But as you can see, very spectacular. The most of the tours will have lunch in Reykjavik again to save some costs. This is a lunch restaurant. We opted it initially for a welcome dinner, but we think as a lunch it works. Moving on to the gala dinner, best option by far is the Old Cinema. It's a theater located at a 3-minute walk from the from the hotel. Looks beautiful. You enter into a foyer area where there's ample space for all of us to have a welcome drink, because it goes around the corner where I'm going to turn in a second. Catering is done by the venue itself, so there's no choice in caterer there. The core tables, etc., we need to confirm what do they look like. Essentially, we're looking at some standing tables in the welcome area, and round tables for dinner in the grand hall where we're moving to right now. We're looking from the balcony down, so we place 13 rounds. There's a built-in stage with a backdrop, so there's quite a bit of stuff that's already there, so we don't need to bring in a lot of additional budget for that, which is a big plus. And this is from the ground level. You can see the balconies up there. We have entertainment planned at the moment. You can see in the proposals, I'm thinking maybe to do the men's choir from up on the balcony at some point in the program. This needs to have some fine tuning, but this is kind of what we're thinking about as of now. Beautiful venue. We think this is by far the best match for the gala dinner. Alternatively, you could opt to not do Collebrautin on the first night. That restaurant is located in Harpa. That's the venue you're looking at right now, that very impressive and famous landmark building. Welcome drinks can be done right there, and then you move into the Northern Lights space, which is what we're looking at right now. A lot of lighting already in there with the LED walls, and there's quite a bit there as well. It is more expensive, about 13,000 more than the old cinema, and a transfer is required. So we're thinking that is a better option for the gala dinner. Having said that, this concludes my little video from the site inspection we did and what we think works well, and accompanied with the calculation and the proposal. We hope that this helps you to make a decision. So thank you very much.